This segment of Dirt Diggler's Shitty Sports Show was brought to you by ESPN. We picked your idols for you. Remember Tim Tebow? You do now.
Warning. Pregnant women, the elderly, and children under 16 should avoid prolonged exposure to Dirt Diggler. Dirt Diggler may suddenly accelerate to dangerous speeds. Dirt Diggler has high gluten content and is not kosher, halal, or vegan safe. Do not ingest Dirt Diggler, as Dirt Diggler is for external use only. Discontinue listening to Dirt Diggler if any of the following occurs: itching, vertigo, dizziness, discoloration of urine, tingling in extremities, loss of balance or coordination, slurred speech, temporary blindness, profuse sweating, heart palpitations, increased use of profanity. If listening to Dirt Diggler gives you an erection lasting longer than 4 hours, you're welcome. Listening to Dirt Diggler may lead to unplanned pregnancies. If Dirt Diggler begins to smoke, get away immediately. Seek shelter and cover head. Dirt Diggler may stick to certain types of skin. When not in use, Dirt Diggler should be returned to a special container and kept under refrigeration. The ingredients of Dirt Diggler include, but are not limited to, a glowing substance which fell to the earth, presumably from outer space, and bad memories. Do not taunt Dirt Diggler. Dirt Diggler does not come with a lifetime guarantee. Dirt Diggler. Enjoy the show.
Extra heat.
All right, what's going on? It is the Dirt Diggler, the dirtiest Diggler to ever Diggler for Dirt Cut
That's
Diggler.
right,
And all,
bitches.
as always, to my left, I have
Kenny the Dork, unapologetically New England and mildly hungover.
mildly hungover indeed. And welcome to Dirt Diggler's Shitty Sports Show Season 3 finale.
Aye.
This show takes on special importance because this is the last show I'm doing while in my 30s.
Yeah, bro. Welcome to the other side next week.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. I'm not,
Hey, I hit 40 this year.
yeah, it's just,
I carry it well.
yeah. So, let's talk about what we've been doing since the Super Bowl. So, Kenny, you're hungover. So you wanna talk about how did that happen, sir?
Lady Dork and I went to Power Plant Live last night in downtown Baltimore. They were having a Mardi Gras celebration, and we got the all-you-could-drink package.
Did you drink all that you could?
And then some. I drank your share and his share and her share. I drank a lot.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anything else happened last night? Just overindulging, huh?
Not here to talk about the past.
Oh, we're on
I'm McGuiring it.
we're on to Dirt Diggler Shitty Sports Show.
No, I mean, that's not the only thing I've been doing, though. So, as you know, I work at a very great school, a fine school for fine kids with special needs. Mm-hmm. And I also have taken on the mantle, in addition to my current responsibilities, of head coaching of JV basketball team.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're coaching for the school?
Yeah.
Oh, so you do their accounting, right?
Yep.
And you coach.
Yeah.
So how did you end up coaching? How did you end up as a coach?
I volunteered.
Nice. So you played organized basketball, know how to do other things?
Yeah.
Nice.
It was a bit of a learning process. I was learning on the fly as I was teaching the kids, but I was having fun doing it.
Did you throw a chair onto the court like Bobby Knight did back in the day?
Tempted a few times. Okay, we were playing this one team, we do a home and home with our other campus.
Yeah.
Two campuses, one school kind of concept. But
Gotcha.
So we go up there and we've beaten them on our home floor soundly. And I was like, guys, this time I don't want you to trap at midcourt. I don't want you to swarm to the ball like a flock of locusts. We're gonna play zone inside the arc.
And how'd that go?
I had a double team at midcourt within about 30 seconds of the game starting.
Midcourt.
I mean, you got to repeat things for these kids to get them.
Well, you got to repeat things for anyone to get it.
Yeah, I know. And then not only that, me and one of the other coaches were trying to teach the importance of transition defense.
Okay.
So, you have to get them set up, get them, they got to get the instinct down of the shots missed, the other team has the rebound. Get back on defense. Don't stand there watching the game happen in front of you. Get back, set up the zone, right?
Okay.
To reinforce that and to show them what their tendencies were, I would clank a shot. Mm-hmm. The other coach would rebound, and then I'd streak past all five of them. She'd hit me over the top with a home run pass, and I'd lay the ball in.
Nice.
Yeah, you just gave up 2 easy points, guys.
So I have a question for that though, because you're old. Did your back hurt after you did all
Knees.
that?
I had some swelling in my knees.
Like, all right, kids, I'm gonna have the other kids
Oh,
take over for a
yeah,
minute.
like we did that drill at least 10 times. I swear I beat it. Like we did variations and permutations of our lineups as they are, because we have like 10 or 12 kids, so we want to make sure all of them.
I think at the end of the day, the kids are the ones who taught you the lesson.
Well, no, at the end of practice, I'm hunched over, hands on my knees. I look at a couple of the kids, and I'm like, I'm gonna feel this tomorrow.
Yeah, you are, man. Like you said, just throw the ball over, and I was like, "Ooh, fuck all of that." I'm not doing that shit now.
No, have you seen me sprint?
No, I haven't, and I really.
I think.
My knees hurt thinking about that shit.
Yeah, let's just say Tom Brady has a faster 40.
Well, I mean, he's very pliable.
I got to get on that pliability kick.
He's very pliable. He's like a fancy dog.
Yeah, but it was like a wheelbarrow rolling downhill, and you can't stop it.
Just terrible, man. Just terrible, man.
But yeah, I mean, life's been going pretty good. I've been having fun. Been kind of, getting myself back in shape too in the process.
That's good because I am not doing that, man.
I rediscovered my jump shot too.
Good. I never really had one, so I mean. So I've been mostly just getting my ass handed to me at work, and planning out this soiree that we have going on next weekend,
yeah,
right? Dirt Diggler's 40s for 40 birthday party.
Yeah.
That we're doing. Right, I got a wonderful friend to help host. Her and her husband. Well, they're both friends. And I got folks coming from all over the U.S. for this, which is amazing, right? Because I would have never have imagined. There was some folks I didn't ask until like a couple weeks prior, not because I didn't want them there, just because I didn't think they would make the trip.
Right.
But I was mistaken. So I got like my buddies coming from like Los Angeles. I got one coming from Texas, 2 coming from Texas actually. A cousin coming from North Carolina. Bolton was going to come down from New York, but he's got an audit at his job, so he wasn't able to make the trip. Right, I got my brother coming from Philly. I got a bunch of folks that are local. I mean, it's going to be quite the thing. And of course, it's a '90s themed party, right? So everyone's going to be their best '90s selves, which is interesting because my friends were all over the map, right?
Yeah.
So during the '90s, during those formative years, they're all over the map, right? So you're gonna have the grunge kids, the ska kids, the Euro trash,
the hip hop, yes,
all of that alternative. It's all there, man. It's gonna be a great time. But I'm handing out 40s with paper bags at the door. So I'm really looking forward to that. Gonna do some light roasting. Gonna do some gentle roasting with care. So I don't want to be on suicide watch halfway through the show. Bro, do the thing, dude. But
we got jokes.
Yeah. So every stop that I've been at from high school on, there's somebody there from there's somebody at the party from that part of my life, and I was a rolling calamity at all of these stops. It's different rolling calamity. so except for my first tour in Okie. My first tour in Okie, I have nobody from that, but I guess my wife counts because she was there for that. Right? And she's my friend. So high school, Okie, back to Pendleton, back to Okie, Lejeune, Afghanistan. When I came back, to Maryland and DC, like folks from all over, and it's gonna be I'm actually.
So everybody's gonna be able to get the dirt on dirt.
Well, yeah. Here's the thing, right? Like these folks have never met each other. Yeah. Like the only common factor between most of these people is me, which when you think about it is absurd. It's absolutely crazy that all these people. It's like 30 plus people coming to this thing, man.
Just think about it, man. Just think about the fact that you've had an impact on all these people's lives.
And you know what? You don't think about it, right? To be serious for a moment, you don't think about it. Especially, if you're someone who deals with anxiety and depression, you don't really think. You're always thankful that someone's there for you, but you don't ever really think about how you're there for them.
Right.
It's you don't think about what benefit they get from you being in their lives. And this is a difficult thing for me to even be able to have the birthday. because birthdays typically send me into like a 2-3 day depression where I don't want shit to do with nobody.
Right.
So this is like the first time I'm going out of my way to kind of celebrate myself. So this is a huge paradigm shift for me, and I'm really thankful for all the folks who are going to be there next weekend, and I'm looking forward to a really good time. But it's just absolutely wild, man. The planning that's going into this. The DJ, couldn't find the DJ. We couldn't get in touch with him, so I made my own playlist. I wrote the program. I did a bunch of stuff on my own because why not? So this is gonna be cool. Folks are gonna be getting dressed up. There's prizes.
Yeah.
Yep. Best 90s dressed male, best 90s dressed female, best haircut 90s haircut male, best 90s hair and makeup female. There's a trivia thing.
Oh no.
Yeah. I'm gonna. There's questions about me. Right, from all the phases, right? So I think the only person who might be able to get most of them right is my wife. I don't think she can get all of them because she has forgotten some of the shit. Maybe she'll nail it. Women know things. But so that's what I've been up to. It's D1 has a job interview today.
Wow.
Yeah. D1.
They grow up so fast.
She'll be 18 this year, man, and I remember holding her in like one hand as like a baby.
Yeah.
Just holding her. And it's like, here she is, young lady, getting ready to start working, getting ready to graduate this year, going to her senior prom and all the other things. And you're just like, fuck, man, I remember when you were just like the tiniest little thing. And here you are now, a young lady, getting on my fucking nerves, as you do. And I'm so proud as a dad. So it's like a lot of shit is going on this year. 2019 is just it's an interesting year.
Right.
Interesting year for me right now. A lot of milestones are getting hit. So next year, or the year after, we hit our 20th anniversary of marriage. So it's like a lot of shit's happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what's going on with Dirty's life right now. So a lot of adulting. You're an adult when you go to Lowe's, right? To get a toilet seat. Right, you go to Lowe's to get a toilet seat, and the amount of thought you put into purchasing the toilet seat, you'll stand there and you'll peruse to make sure the toilet seat has all the features you want in a toilet seat. Like, I need one that's not going to slam because, I don't want to deal with that shit. Like, you're 20, you buy a toilet seat, you're like, $20, toilet seat, cheapest one, let's go. But now you're like, this one isn't the right color or white, this is off-white. I need a straight white toilet seat here. And I was sitting next to this guy, me and Eric were in there, sitting next to this guy, and we're like both focusing on these toilet seats, and you're like, you're a grown-up when you're putting this much fucking thought into a toilet seat.
So mature.
So much thought into a fucking toilet seat. And he's like, oh my God. Yeah, I got to get one that does this and this because the kids broke it because they slammed it. And I'm just like, see, this is the shit. You don't deal with this as a young man or woman. You just buy a fucking toilet seat and you move on with life. You just give a shit about if it closes gently or not. But yeah, so that's what we've been up to, man. It's that and just I've kind of, just cruising through, trying to relax.
Yeah.
Trying to maintain. So
enjoy it while you have it.
Yeah, man, that's all I can do, man. So let's get into
the schedule.
The schedule. So as usual, we're going to cover our hometown happenings in Philly and in the greater Boston area. We're going to cover the shittiest Super Bowl ever.
Point of view of everybody else in the room over there. Yeah.
No, that was a shit game. I mean, at the end, somebody had to win. So congratulations on that. But that was a fucking terrible game. By all accounts.
I call it a defensive masterclass.
No, it really wasn't, though. It really was not.
Okay.
But we'll go into that. So the aftermath of the Super Bowl, the game itself, the offseason, some free agency moves. There's no shitty beer this week because I don't have any beer.
Okay.
But we do have some shitty hot takes to cover, so that's always nice.
So some flaming hot, shitty hot takes.
Oh my God. So yeah, let's get into the hometown happening. So the Sixers have been winning some games and actually came down to the wire against the Klay Thompson-less juggernauts that are the Golden State Warriors.
They had a 12-point lead on them at halftime last night.
The Sixers made some really, really good moves at the deadline.
Yeah.
And really pulled in some talent. So they seem to have realized that the East is theirs for the taking.
Yeah.
So they're really pursuing it. And I have to tip my hat. Ben Simmons still hasn't discovered that he has a jumper.
No.
Or he doesn't have a jumper. But Embiid's been sitting for a while.
Yeah.
So that's affected some things. But I'd like to see what this team does at the end of the season in the postseason with a full strength roster. I don't really think. I think Toronto, can probably beat them, can maybe beat them if Kawhi Leonard can do that thing Kawhi Leonard does.
Yeah.
But as it stands right now, that's a pretty well-rounded team, and it's hard to hate on that team out of the East, especially with LeBron having left the East and going to the West, where he's got to contend with the cunty Rockets and the cheat code that is the Warriors, with the full strength Boogie Cousins now.
At the league minimum for veterans.
Jesus Christ.
It's just not fair.
Jesus Christ. To be fair, he's coming off of a blown Achilles, so
yeah.
So the pressure's not on him to be the man because he's in a great spot. But now we got to deal with KD and what his punk ass is going to do, and we still have to endure the cunty Rockets and their cunty style of basketball.
Look, he has a beard.
Fuck him and his beard. Fuck him and his beard. And Chris Paul. Fuck him too. But the Flyers are kind of shitty. They're winning some games, but they're still losing more than they're winning. Bryce Harper, big signing, 13 years, $330 million contract with the Phils.
The richest contract in North American sports history.
Yes, and here's the thing. He's got a no trade clause, no opt-out clause. These two entities are in it to the end.
For the long
haul. So unless Bryce retires, he's a Philly.
Or unless he demands a trade.
Well, no trade clause.
Well, no. He has the right to reject any trade the Phillies try to pull.
He can't, but if he demands it,
that means he's conceding that clause.
Okay, well, we'll see. I doubt that happens, though. He's pretty happy. But he's courting Le'Veon Bell to come to Philly. Apparently, Philadelphia has kind of taken on this era of being a wonderful sports town.
Yeah.
So a lot of the
guys are passionate fans.
Yeah, a lot of the athletes are really trying to see what's going on in Philly. A lot of good young coaches, very innovative coaches, with the exception of the Flyers. They've got some good talent. The fans have always been passionate. There's a lot to do in the city, so it's not like Buffalo where all you can do is each other
and eat wings
and throw each other through flaming tables and go to the ER. If you can feel your broken leg because you are hammered because that's all you do in Buffalo.
Or because you're frozen.
Frozen, yeah. You can throw dildos on the field.
Yes, you can.
You can throw dildos on the field in Buffalo.
I only think they do that for Tom Brady.
They only do it for the Patriots, though.
Yeah.
It's a special
They need
bond.
to expand that to league-wide. Be more inclusive.
No, you know what? Honestly, if Tom Brady's last game is in Buffalo and and there's like a coordinated multi-dildo chucking that happens, I think that's the best send-off for Tom Brady out of Buffalo. That's the most Buffalo thing they could do for Tom Brady, is for like 20 people to simultaneously throw dildos onto the field.
A 21 dildo salute.
21 dildo salute for Tom Brady. I want to see it happen. Buffalo, fucking make it happen. Andre James, call your people. You're from Buffalo. Fucking make that happen. All right.
And then slam somebody through a flaming table.
And then someone through a table. Yeah. So
Bill's Mafia parties like it doesn't want to live.
I don't think it does, though.
I mean, would you?
I think it really does. but yeah, so that's what's going on in Philly right now. It's an interesting ride so far. Interesting ride.
Yep.
I'm curious to see what the Phils do if they make it to the postseason and how that pans out with Bryce Harper being on the roster. He's a magnificent talent, and now Mike Trout is going to be in play.
Yep.
And we're going to see what he does. And there's no way the Phils can make a move on Trout, but the next best thing behind Trout is Bryce.
Well, and the thing was that with the annual average value of Bryce Harper's contract being lower than expected, they actually do have the resources and capital in play to possibly make a run at Mike Trout.
Well, we can see Mike Trout's a diehard Philly Eagles fan.
Right.
So he's already got a link. He's at a lot of the Eagles games.
Yeah,
in
and
Philly.
he'll see what's going on here.
He'll definitely see.
The Phillies are in it to win it.
His agent is definitely going to make the decisions that are best for his client. So it'd be great. I'll tell you right now, I would shit kittens if Mike Trout and Bryce Harper were both Phillies. I would fucking be really interested in baseball. But until that happens, I'm just kind of, vaguely interested in baseball.
Well, yeah.
So, what is going on in the greater Boston area there, Mr. Dork?
Well, let's see. The Bruins actually, I say they're still mediocre, but they've moved up to second place in the Eastern Conference behind only Tampa Bay.
Tampa's on fire.
Yeah, well, the Bruins are too. They haven't lost a game in 10 games so far.
Nice.
9-0-1 in their last 10.
Where are the Flyers at on that?
They were about
Dude, it's like a page 2.
No, they got. Yeah, they're a few points out of a playoff spot. Like a lot of points.
Boo.
They need to get hot like the Bruins, but yeah.
Okay.
But they're no longer clinging to a wild card spot. They're in the top 3 in the conference.
Okay.
But the only problem is the best team in the conference is in their division. So
we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah. So I mean, I only really get diehard into hockey when we flip the page to the playoffs. So unfortunately,
when you have a
postseason hockey is amazing.
When you have a long season,
yes.
it's hard to track all that.
Yeah, and with baseball, basketball, and football, holding chunks of my heart as well.
You just kind of pay attention where you can.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what it is.
It is.
Yeah, the Celtics. I'm beginning to think they were overhyped.
I'm going to agree that they have all the talent in the world, but no one on the court.
They're kind of directionless.
They are. They're rudderless because there's no true. They don't have a presence that's going to take that team and make it theirs.
Right, the big 3 from a decade ago: Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett.
Those guys are all veteran leaders when they showed up.
Yeah. They could take the team on their back any given night and drag them to a victory.
Well, you had a psychopath in Garnett. So.
Oh God, the big ticket was big time crazy.
Yeah, he's crazy.
He was in a bar fight.
He's crazy. He's a crazy man.
Oh yeah, I loved every minute of him playing for the Celtics. It was great. He was great. Person. Anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
Yes. I'm so hyped up right now. Anyway, but Celtics aren't really. I mean, it's like kind of going through the motions kind of basketball with them right now. Mm-hmm. I actually think they're worse for having Kyrie Irving right now.
See, Kyrie is a great piece.
He's a great piece, but he's not the leader they need him to be.
He's from Duke. What do you expect?
He knows how to take a charge.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he does. But no, seriously, like.
Oh yeah.
Other than Grant, what's the last Duke player that really led a team? That led a team. Duke produces fantastic role players.
Yes.
I think Grant Hill was the last one who could really lead a team. Even though they never did shit with Grant Hill, the Pistons didn't really do anything. They were terrible. And Grant Hill couldn't stay healthy.
Unfortunately, his
but
ankles.
a lot of these Duke products, they don't have the leadership chops. I don't know if it's got to do with coaching or the personalities that they attract, but they just seem like Carlos Boozer is a big Duke guy.
I always used to laugh at that name.
But he's not a leader for shit. But he's a great
he's a great Luol Deng.
They're great pieces to teams, but they're
Elton
not
Brand.
Great piece.
Yep.
Not the leader.
Yeah, and that's what we have with Kyrie.
He's a great piece.
Yeah, he fed off of LeBron.
But he foo-fooed LeBron. I want to be the man. But here he is, the opportunity to be the man.
And he's not seizing it.
And he's not seizing it. So
I know, it's really hard to watch. I mean, because that playoff run where they took the Cavs to Game 7 last year.
Yeah.
I mean, did anybody expect that? I mean, this was a young, fiery, hungry team.
Well,
and then you think about the fact that you would have had Gordon Hayward and Kyrie Irving coming back from injury, and you were excited.
Now it's wrecked.
Yeah, now they're fifth in the Eastern Conference at last check.
They're not good.
They're
not as good as they could be considering the talent they have on that team.
It's a disappointment.
Yeah, of course it is. Especially how weak the East is.
Yeah, the East is there for the taking. The Celtics are 2 games behind Philadelphia for 4th place. 2.5 behind Indiana for 3rd, and then you've got Toronto and Milwaukee. And they're not catching them.
No,
they're 10 games behind Milwaukee, and Milwaukee's good on a level we didn't think they were going to be.
We're going to see what happens with them once they reach the playoffs.
Oh yeah,
that's when
winning time happens.
That's when you know what's up. Yeah.
Yeah, and I really, really, really would like to see them do well, and then also retain Giannis. But that's a sidebar conversation for another time. The Red Sox, they're in spring training, and they're getting ready to pistol whip the Yankees again. Because that's what we do.
But the spring training, it doesn't matter.
I know. But I'm saying, again, the Yankees were picked to win the AL East, and we all saw how that turned out last year. Well, I mean, fans were chanting during the AL wildcard game, that they wanted Boston. They got us. They couldn't handle us, and bring it on,
but just
fuckers.
Remember, they can sleep with their 27 pendants.
Oh, yeah. Their 27 world championships.
Or whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
This is why no one likes you, Yankees fans, by the way.
Oh, good Lord.
Not that I like Sox fans because I don't. But this
wait,
is like
you don't like me?
No, you're cool. You're cool. No,
right.
Before I hated the Sox, I hated the Yankees.
Right.
Like I've literally always hated the Yankees.
I mean, isn't that a rite of passage for all the other fans of
It kind of is.
the other franchises?
We're not
You
even in the
have to.
same fucking league. We're like we should. I hate the Mets, but I absolutely hate the Yankees. They're like the Cowboys of baseball, except
On steroids.
But they've actually won recently, so I can't call them the Cowboys because the Cowboys haven't won shit recently.
Yeah. I mean, the Yankees do have a title in the last decade.
They do, so
Barely.
I can't. But their fan base is just
An insufferable mess.
they're an insufferable mess, just like most of the Massachusetts fan bases.
Yeah. I knew you were gonna get that in there. You're gonna slide it in there.
Of course I am.
I mean, because the
'Cause
Celtics have the. See, that's the thing though. Is like I've never understood that. Like you know how Steeler fans and Yankee fans will be quick to remind you how many championships they've won. You don't hear the Celtics doing that. I don't even hear Canadiens fans except when they're at a Bruins game doing that much.
To be honest with you, man, it almost seems like if you haven't done shit in the last not done shit, but if you haven't, the recency bias is where it's at. Because
Right.
in all honesty, Bill Russell is never mentioned in the GOAT conversation. And to be honest, if his whole body of work, especially considering the time in which it happened, him being a player manager at a time where
that just
he had to come in through the back entrance of the
That's crazy.
It's ridiculous. Yet the guy's got 12 championship
11.
rings, 11, and he's not in the conversation for GOAT. But Michael automatically gets the GOAT because he's got 6. Last time I checked, 11 was more than 6.
Yeah,
last time I checked, Mike couldn't coach to save his fucking life. Mike's barely a competent owner. So,
I mean, Bill Russell redefined the center position.
He redefined race relations. He redefined him and Kareem don't get the shake they deserve in the GOAT conversation. We give it to Kobe. We give it to fucking Mike and now LeBron. And for their eras, they are absolutely the greatest of their eras.
Yeah.
But of all time, 11 championships. There's no one that's going to do that.
8 in a row.
There's no one who's going to fucking do that.
No one.
So, look.
At one point, yeah.
I love watching Mike and Kobe and LeBron play as much as the next guy.
It's the recency bias.
But to say that they're better than Bill Russell or Wilt Chamberlain or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or fucking Oscar Robinson or some of these players that played back in the day.
Well, I mean, most of the people having this conversation wouldn't even realize that Lou Alcindor and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar are not two people.
They're the same person.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what bugs me about it is that people that don't know the breadth of the history of basketball are having these conversations.
So
we're a little off topic, but
it's a good segue.
It is, and because the Patriots moved up to the top of the list in Super Bowls.
They tied the
Steelers.
Tied the Steelers. Yeah.
And they don't have the most NFL championships. Thank you, Packer fans, for reminding me.
You know what? Those early championships, if there was 3 teams in the league, are we really going to count your fucking championship? Really?
Well, we still...
No, because there was no playoffs, there was no championship game. Sometimes it was who's got the best record at the end? You're the champion.
The Providence Steamroller won a...
Well, okay, so
NFL championship.
If we're going to talk about the Packers championships, right?
I mean, if you beat a defunct team for it...
Which ones start to count? Are we counting straight Super Bowl era championships? Because if we're counting championships, then Cleveland
has 8. Yeah.
And the Eagles have fucking 3 or 4 now.
Yeah.
Because the Eagles had some from back in the day too. So at what point do we count championships? It makes it easy when you go Super Bowl era.
Yeah.
Right? Post-merger, Super Bowl era, those are the championships that we're really counting. You only fall back on those other numbers when you're just being a fucking insufferable fanboy and you just want to shit on someone else's glory.
Oh, exactly. And also, this conversation is a lot more exciting than the actual game was.
That game was terrible.
I mean, I will acknowledge that if you did not have a dog in the fight, you were not compelled to watch this. But
here's the thing. Folks did have a dog in the fight. You weren't excited about the Rams being there, but this is McVay, who's the future of the NFL. Right? You're gonna No, listen.
All right.
Coaches, teams are sniffing the freaking draws of people who have anything to do with McVay. If you sit behind him in Starbucks, you've got a head coaching job with full personnel control.
Yeah.
You really
looking at Matt LaFleur and Zach Taylor.
These guys are woefully underqualified. They were shit in the college ranks. They haven't done shit, and they're head coaches with personnel control because of their proximity to McVay, who is truly a singular thing but only when it comes to the offense, which only mustered how many points in the fucking Super Bowl?
3. And I'll tell you, you want to know why? So, Brian Hoyer, doing research for the Super Bowl, was watching ESPN Plus to watch Peyton Manning's show Details.
Yeah.
And he noticed something about, Goff and, the play calling that was going on. He's like, sounds familiar. So he goes back to the, right about the time where, what's that Amazon show, Prime? That was with I forget what it's called, but no, it's not Hard Knocks. It's a different one, where they allowed cameras in to watch, their
I've got no idea.
Their spring practices and whatnot. That was right about the time McVay was taking over, and he noticed some similarities to an offense he had run in Cleveland in 2014 under Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, Kyle Shanahan's done a lot of
to
innovation.
The point where there was no change in the terminology.
Well,
and Hoyer is like, this is what's going to happen, guys. Look for it. Like on the Gilmore interception, they basically knew, like, at some point, like, if we shut down all his reads, he's going to have to make a play himself, and he'll panic. And exactly that. And they did it mostly from Hoyer's research.
So I have a question then.
And this happened during the week of the game.
Considering how McVay's being filleted by NFL front offices en masse, would you say he's a better coach than Peterson? From the
if he can succeed at this level again next year, I'll give him that. But right now, it kind of looks like he's a copy and paste fraud. Okay. I mean, I think Green Bay and Cincinnati are starting to wonder if they should have buyer's remorse right now.
Well, they ought to, but they're not, because they're.
I mean, like Matt LaFleur and Zach Taylor have a lot to prove now.
Yeah, they do.
I don't wish them well on that.
Here's where I argue that Peterson's the better coach.
Yeah.
Right? Considering the star power on the Rams.
Yeah.
Right? And considering how weak that Pats defense was last year.
Right.
For them to muster 3 paltry fucking points with arguably the MVP at running back.
Yeah.
With a number 1 overall pick at quarterback. With some of the best tackles in the league. With
some great deep threats.
Defensive studs all over the field that were healthy and starting.
Yeah.
For them to muster 3 points is pathetic.
If you'd have told me the Patriots were going to be held to 13 points, I'd have said they lost.
Yeah, I'd have said the same thing, because we expected the Rams to score points. So I'm going to say that McVay is not as great as people think he is. Because,
oh God, no.
Because he lacks, because of all the different skills a coach has to have in the NFL, right? You got to be able to run your locker room, empower your vets, train your new guys, inspire your team to perform better, game plan. And I think that when it comes to all those things, Peterson vastly outclasses, because you got to think about it. Peterson's beaten them twice in LA.
Yeah.
To include in the fucking playoffs. Oh, no, that was last year they played in. No, they lost to Atlanta last year, but they beat them in LA to go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And they beat them in LA the year prior to seize the East.
Yeah, to seize home field.
No, it was for the East.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they had lost that game, they would have lost home field.
But so I'm going to say that McVay, while he's the shiny new thing and he's young, and he did a great job bringing in Wade Phillips, I think he's vastly overrated as a coach. And I think that when he went up against Belichick, he was exposed for exactly what he was.
Right.
He's a great offensive guy when it comes to digesting previously used schemes and putting them in place, but I don't believe he's an innovator.
Well,
Not when you look at the talent he's got on that team.
He should have been. There should have been no way this was a close game.
They should have put a 30.
They should have. But you know what? Hey, between the research that the Patriots staff did, the backup quarterbacks and whatnot, and then also Brian Flores called a great game, an aggressive.
Flores called the game in a way that would rattle a guy who doesn't think well on his feet, which is Goff. Goff does not improvise well. Once it goes off schedule, and you saw it in the Super Bowl, once the play goes off schedule, or he thinks it goes off schedule, it's a wrap. Because,
if he's got to make it happen on his own, it's not going to happen.
So between him and his center, they couldn't call the proper protections because of the ambiguous looks the Patriots are giving them. Who's coming? We don't know. Right? He's automatically uncomfortable. You got blocking assignments getting blown. So now Goff's starting to take hits. So now the clock speeds up, right?
Yep.
So a savvy quarterback, worth his salt, at that with three years in the league,
right,
should be able to adjust fire, right? Considering how prolific this team was. What did he do? Started getting bad throws, happy feet, running around. They never bootlegged him out of the pocket.
Nope.
They never bootlegged him out of the pocket like they should have. And even when they did a few times, he froze once he got there. So Goff got exposed, and the inability of McVay to adapt to the way the game was going was exposed, because really, and Andy Reid's biggest thing is, while he's great preparing going into a game, his halftime adjustments have always been inferior to that of Bill Belichick's. Belichick is great at the halftime adjustment. Right. So you got to be able to throw the fucking balls to the wind and go after Belichick, and McVay couldn't do it.
You realize there was only one red zone play in the entire game?
It's fucking terrible. It's a shit game. So, all right, look. Of course you're happy. Right, your team won the Super Bowl again.
I got what I wanted, a boring Super Bowl.
At the end of the day, right?
Where I didn't really have to worry about the outcome.
But come on now. If you would have won the prior Super Bowl against the Eagles, considering how exciting that fucking game was, that game would have been worlds better. From your perspective.
I mean, the only thing that really made this Super Bowl enjoyable for me was
that
it was
won.
number 6.
Was that you won?
Yeah, exactly.
But you're right. No dog in the fight. Terrible game. But most of us had a dog in the fight because you didn't want to see the Patriots taking 6. I mean, we liked Gurley. We liked McVay. We didn't like Sue. But we liked Aaron Donald. And there were some likable characters on the Rams that you kind of want to see win. And they failed miserably. 3 fucking points.
They were getting shut out until like halfway through the fourth.
3 fucking points.
Yeah.
Hey, but I did exactly call a 10-point victory.
Yes, you did.
For the Pats. I didn't, unless Gurley went off, which he didn't. And they're saying he has arthritis in that knee now.
Oh no.
So Gurley might be done. At least he might be good for the next couple of years, but his clock just lost a whole bunch of hours.
I was a little upset about the fact that Julian Edelman was the MVP. I can see why. There's a strong argument for it. That without him, the Patriots offense didn't move.
No, it didn't.
But I felt like somebody from the defense should have gotten it.
No, it should have been fucking Flores who got the MVP, because really, it was this. I don't think that any of the players on that defensive front 7 for the Pats outclassed their counterpart, but the scheme put them in position to win, which is what you're supposed to do as a fucking coach,
right?
And as another coach, you're supposed to not allow them to do that.
And I mean, it's game calling like that got Brian Flores hired in Miami.
Yeah, well,
So, I mean, because the Patriots offense did just enough to win. It wasn't exactly Brady's best game. Gronk showed up when he had to. Sony Michel paced the offense nicely with a great running game.
They did a good job of keeping the Rams offense off the field until the Pats could start scoring points. How many 3-and-outs?
Oh, good Lord. The Rams?
Yeah, how many
at least 10, I think.
They couldn't move shit.
Yeah, I mean, when your first touchdown in the game isn't scored until 53 minutes into Super Bowl 53.
That's a terrible, terrible, terrible game, dude. I mean, it is.
I'm not gonna lie.
I thought the Denver-Seattle Super Bowl was bad because of how one-sided it was. This was bad because no one could do anything, and it wasn't like the defense was excellent. It was just shitty offensive play.
I think if you're really gonna look back on worst Super Bowls ever. I mean, what's your criteria?
The entertainment factor of the game, right? Am I watching this game? If I don't have an immediate stake in this game, right? Like one of my teams isn't playing. My team isn't one of the teams playing, right? So I'm not emotionally invested in the Super Bowl, so to speak. But there's an entertainment factor, right? There's outstanding defense where you just see guys making plays. And then there's just piss poor offensive execution. Jared Goff getting the deer in the headlights look, standing for 3 seconds before rifling one into the dirt, isn't great defense. That's piss poor offensive execution, and that's what I got. Okay. I got an impotent Rams offense, right? I got a barely functional Patriots offense against an easy to expose Rams defense, where, to be honest with you, Belichick wasn't trying to score a bunch of points. He was trying to keep the Rams off the field. But the Rams did a good enough job on their own by punting constantly. They had Rams had so many opportunities to put a dagger in the Pats, and what did they do? They fucking punted away. So what makes it a good Super Bowl? I mean, yeah, it would have been great even if the Rams would have won, it still would have been a shitty Super Bowl just because of how it went. But the lack of the lack of execution on the offensive side made this a very unwatchable game. I'm not going to go back and watch this tape. Ever.
Probably not either.
It's nothing to remember. It was like watching.
I'd say, I mean, I know they won. That's all I need.
It's like watching a Pop Warner game where the teams only made it to the championship because of a bunch of forfeitures because some other team cheated. Like this is what I saw. It was just I expected so much more from those two teams with those coaching staffs and those weapons that they have, and they simply didn't deliver the product that most of America wanted. Whether or not you're a Pats or a Rams fan, an entertaining Super Bowl is an entertaining Super Bowl.
Yeah, and
52 was entertaining. I mean, down to the wire.
51 was entertaining.
Down. If it goes down to a Hail Mary at the end of the game, and whether or not that ball bounces off the fucking turf, and you've got a fucking half mile of offense, and there's one sack in the whole game, like, that is a fucking great game.
Right. If you got it, or 49.
Just, it's amazing. Yeah. But this one was terrible. And I guess we were due.
We were due. I mean, we haven't had a stink bomb like this since the Niners and the Chargers in Super Bowl 29.
There was the one where the Cowboys stomped the life out of the Chargers. Was
the Cowboys and the Bills.
The second one.
The first one.
Which one did they really run them out of the stadium?
The 52-17? That was the first one. Super Bowl 27.
See, that was not entertaining either, but for different reasons.
Yeah, no. It's just the next year when the Cowboys beat Buffalo again, that was just more of a okay. You know they're going to turn it on after halftime.
So what was the name of the boxer that Tyson fought fresh out of prison? McNulty, something like that. McNulty was his name. The sacrificial lamb that
Peter. I know his first name is Peter.
Irish dude.
Yeah.
So hold on. Would you rather watch that, or would you rather watch the Thriller in Manila between Foreman and Ali? Because one of those fights is legendary and is still talked about in this day, and one of them is a colorful anecdote that we refer to every once in a while. So one-sided, not so much fun. McNeely, thank you. You want to watch the Thriller in Manila. You want to watch the Rumble in the Jungle. You want to see two sluggers go at it.
Right.
And it come down to some mental games and some other form of, gamesmanship to win. You don't want to see a blowout, and you don't want to see a stink bomb like that.
No. I think the worst Super Bowl I ever watched was Super Bowl 24, though.
Who was that?
Niners Broncos, 55-10.
No, that was when Elway was getting smoked, wasn't it?
Yeah, like the Niners scored 8 touchdowns.
Joe Montana Niners. They were smoking them.
Yeah, it was just like
that's bad.
That was like the worst.
This year's Super Bowl was pretty pathetic, though.
I mean, yeah.
So hey, look, you won. Congratulations. Congratulations on your 6th fucking Super Bowl, Kenny.
Hey.
Congratulations.
Hey, well, I had nothing to do with it, but thank you for the kudos nonetheless.
Your kudos for you.
I enjoyed it. I did.
The Eagles look to be in the running for next year's, hopefully.
Hey, did Lane Johnson watch the parade?
I'm not sure he did.
Hey, because it looked like New England was having a lot of fun.
For that to have been dismissed as readily as it was the year prior,
right?
For Patriots staff and players and fans to bring it up now means I think it's true. Because if it's not true,
hey,
why would everyone go out of their way to mention how untrue it was a year after the fact?
Hey,
just saying.
I'm just saying. Hey, maybe it's just that we have different ideas of fun.
Winning is fun. All right. So there's.
It's recognizing when it's time to celebrate. I think is what.
I think yes. The freedom of expression or being able to do things like that has never been a Belichick thing.
Right.
And I think that's what he's talking about. Playing for Belichick is terrifying, especially if you're not Tom fucking Brady.
It's work.
It's a job. It's a straight job, and it's been successful over the years, but it's not fun, and it doesn't have to be fun. So why is everybody so wrapped up around that it's not fun to go to work?
Yeah.
So I mean, to mention it a year after the fact, Lane Johnson, what he said, I believe had and still has merit.
I think a lot of guys that have been in New England for a long time on the coaching staff and players took umbrage to that. Like, no, it's just that's not how it is,
But why even refute it?
Yeah,
I mean, why put this much mental energy into it unless it had impacted you in some way? You won the Super Bowl. Why are you mentioning Lane Johnson now? Why did you even have a response to him when he said it the first time?
Well, no, I think it was a lot of people just noticing the players and how much fun they were having in the parade. It was just kind of a.
But parade's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, I mean, Rob Gronkowski went shirtless, and then put on a road guard vest and a hard hat, and was shotgunning beers every time a fan threw it to him.
You know, I still think Jason Kelce takes the rap for most fun during a parade.
Oh my God!
I'm sorry, Rob Gronkowski would have to do something outlandishly Boston to pass up Jason Kelce hammered in a mummer's outfit, riding random bicycles, and then losing his shit on the stage. Gronk, Gronk likes to party.
Yeah,
but that.
Yeah, that was a level of insane we had not seen.
That encapsulated. That's the fun that they're talking about. Like they doing that throughout the season. They had a great time. You're not gonna do a touchdown dance, really. You're not gonna coordinate. You're not gonna do that shit with Belichick. Where you're posing, doing electric slide. There's a fun element in the locker room that is not gonna be there because it is work in New England. And that's what Lane Johnson was saying.
Okay.
So like I said, for everyone to have taken such umbrage to this, I believe it lends more validity to him saying it's really not fun to play. Winning is fun, right?
Right.
But it is a grind and it is work to get there for New England, and that's what works in New England.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of coach Belichick is. And Peterson is a different kind of coach, and he inspires his players differently.
Right.
And so I mean, at this point, I'm not going to say Peterson is anywhere near as successful as Belichick is, 6-1.
Yeah.
But I think that what he's doing is not a recipe for failure. He's not Tomlin. He's not letting the players do whatever.
He's not making excuses.
He's not making excuses. Players fuck up, they get cut.
Yeah.
He's holding folks accountable. He listens to his players. He doesn't have like a guy. I think the closest thing I guess would be Malcolm Jenkins. So I think it's just a good, different things work for different teams, different locker rooms, and that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I think Lane Johnson would fit in New England just as easily as he fits in Philly, or just as well as he'd fit in as a Ram. He would. He's going to be Lane Johnson no matter what.
Yeah. So we're enjoying it. We're happy we won that. That they won their 6th Super Bowl, but. We didn't get to really savor it for very long because,
no, there's some things that happened.
Things, like Brian Flores.
Yeah, talk about the coaching. The coaching has you guys got fleeced for your coaches again.
Brian Flores was hired as the head coach of Miami, in Miami, and he took Josh Boyer and Chad O'Shea with him, the quarterback and coach, and I forget O'Shea was the receivers coach. And then the quarterback's coach, Chuck Poplinski.
Has any division rival snatching Patriots coaching stuff worked out for that team?
Mangini
didn't work out.
Had a playoff berth or two.
And then he ruined it all by kicking off. He became persona non grata once he kicked off Spygate.
Right. Yeah, and then he was fired he was fired after going 9-7. Yeah, which Rex Ryan should have been happy with after a few years.
Yeah.
But he wasn't. he got somehow the Jets got worse under Rex.
Well, they made it to a couple of AFC Championship games.
Yeah, but Mangini was the last case of that happening. And it's not. I don't think it was quite as venomous as the Mangini Belichick breakup in 2005.
Yeah.
Whereas Flores, it was given the blessing to
go pursue
a head coaching opportunity and.
You think he's ready?
What's that? Do I think he's
Flores
ready?
Is ready as to do the head coaching thing because he's still young, isn't he?
He's 37.
Relatively young. Yeah, he's young to be a head coach.
Yeah, he is. I think he could be a successful head coach. I just don't think it'll happen in Miami. I think you've got toxic ownership that goes through that whole. It starts at the top and all the way down. You have a quarterback situation in Miami that needs to be figured out. It looks like they're done with Ryan Tannehill. They're probably going to tank this year to get a better draft pick.
I think they did a good job shitting last year, so they're probably going to pick a quarterback, a shitty quarterback this year, because it's what Miami does.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you remember how happy they were about the Miami Miracle when they beat the Patriots.
Of course.
You know what that cost them, right?
It cost them, the top 5 pick?
Yep.
Yeah. Because Miami.
Just Miami, bro.
It kept you guys from securing home field advantage.
Yeah,
and anytime you beat the Patriots, it's almost worth it.
Almost.
Almost.
Yeah.
It's
like that part in Infinity War where Thanos looks at Gamora. Did you do it? Did you win? What did it cost? Home field.
Yeah. To be fair, though, I mean, it's tradition to beat the Patriots in Miami in December.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, and then you realize the Super Bowl's in Miami next year, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, you know what that means, right?
No.
Patriots ain't winning that.
No.
They just don't play well there.
Shit.
Even if they get there, they're gonna lose.
Man. So,
and it's an even year Super Bowl too.
So there's some other things that happened. So Bob Kraft was arrested in a prostitution sting in Jupiter, Florida. He had been caught on camera twice receiving sexual services from the masseuses, ladies there. Mm-hmm. So listen, where this becomes the concern Olympics is there was the specter of trafficked persons hanging over this, right?
Right.
So for those of you who don't know, there is an industry where people are taken or they're brought over under false pretense and they have their IDs and whatnot stripped away, and then they're forced into prostitution. They're basically sex slaves. And this is not okay at all, right?
No, it isn't.
So one thing I won't do is sit here and go, well, prostitution's bad. I don't care. What's bad is trafficking people. I don't care if you're trafficking them to fucking work in your house. I don't care if you're trafficking them to work in the field. I don't care if you're trafficking them for whatever reason you're doing it for. If it's against their will, I am not okay with it.
I am against you doing it.
If you're bringing them in via illegal, underhanded means, I am against it.
Yeah.
But if you are a consenting adult and you decide that you want to sell sex, fine. Just keep your business with other consenting adults, and I'm fine.
Right, yeah, as long as the consent's there.
That's your decision to make. That's what you want to do. It's this is not new stuff, and to be honest with you, that doesn't make you terrible or good as a person. It's a job now. But not as someone who's trafficked. So the concern stuff happens because the initial headlines stated that this place was part of a ring of massage parlors that may involve the trafficking of persons. So the bust happens. Robert Kraft hits the headlines as being one of the customers who received services there, and it's like, okay. So we had several conversations, right, with people like, you understand this is not a business necessarily based on integrity. However, what I'm going to say is, as if you're going to partake in that industry, there are databases and there are resources available that will tell you what things to look out for if you're going to pursue that kind of thing, to make sure you don't support someone that's trafficked.
Yeah.
Because if the industry dries up, then the trafficking dries up.
Yeah.
So there are things. So people use the moral obligation. If you're going into a part of the little rub and tug or whatever, it's not hard to figure out if the people are living there, if they've been trafficked.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that you can do as a dude. Is it going to happen? No, because as guys, we don't think about trafficked persons. It's not something we think about. We're just trying to bust a nut and move on. We're not thinking about how that person got there, what the circumstances are, anything like that.
Right.
We're just thinking about what it is that we're there to do. And, like a lot of other things, maybe we can put 2 seconds of thought into this and support someone who really wants to be there, right? Not a slave, who really wants to be there. So Kraft's first encounter was a threesome, apparently.
Okay.
But here's where it gets interesting. There have been no charges of trafficking that come out of this for the owners or anything. They're prostitution, solicitation, things like that, but no trafficking charges. And the women that are interviewed involved have basically, none of them have stated that they were trafficked in. None of them have said anything. So we're going to pay attention to this, see where it goes, because as they investigate, more things might come out. But if they've already levied the charges, and none of the charges include trafficking, so I'm thinking that maybe the specter of trafficking is something they use simply to grab the headline,
right,
to bring attention to it. But whether or not there was trafficking in this case, it still happens. It's still more pervasive than maybe we think, and it's still something that can be totally prevented while still, by the service itself still exists. So I know as a Patriots fan, you were disappointed to see your beloved team owner engage in something like this, and it is.
I mean, Bob Kraft is the reason we still have football in New England. So.
It's an interesting story. It's interesting.
Yeah. The hostile takeover in '94, they kept the team there.
All the things, man.
Well, I mean, there was a joke going around between Patriots fans and Rams fans Like, yeah, we may not like each other, but neither one of us wanted to be in St. Louis.
But one of them ended up in St. Louis.
One of them almost ended up in St. Louis.
One of them did, though.
Yeah, I mean, we almost became the St. Louis Stallions. Yikes. Yeah, they had like Laker uniforms, pretty much.
Ew.
Yeah, gross. I mean, that would have been a double puker for me.
Yeah. So
yeah, but I mean, I'm disgusted with Mr. Kraft's actions. If indeed it comes out that this was a trafficking, because I mean, a man of his means, he has the ability to figure, stuff like that out, whether or not, and go to a place where the
I think
go to at least go put himself in a situation where there's consent on both sides.
Yeah, and
I mean, I understand.
We're not saying that there wasn't. If these women were trafficked, then his consent was okay.
Yeah.
So what he's looking for is discretion, right?
Yeah.
When he goes to a party like that, nobody fucking knows he's Robert Kraft. But if he goes and gets himself a high-end lady of the night, she's gonna know exactly who he is. He's gonna know, and not to say that she wouldn't be discreet about how they go about the business, because that's part of what you got to do in order to maintain your clientele. But I mean, whatever decisions he made, and I'm not justifying it one way or the other, but the shit went down. We'll see what the court case does. Trafficking is fucking terrible. Don't support it.
Nope.
If you see signs of it, like someone, like the people that live
in
there,
say something.
You may want to drop a dime, and figure that out, because if someone in your life vanished off the face of the map and was brought into this type of industry against their will, and you had a chance to fucking fix that, you would.
Right.
So don't remove yourself from the situation so much. As dudes, maybe we ought to take some ownership of the actions and things that we support, because we are dudes. And to be honest with you, we hold the power in the society. We do. So if we want to change something, then we need to fucking be the ones to initiate the change until we can until we get the equality across the genders and all the different demographics that that a lot of people are seeking. So I'm just saying, if we have the power and we don't like it, then maybe we should be the ones to change it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So moving on.
I think honestly though, Kraft's going to be held accountable by the league. There's a precedent for this with Ursay.
Well,
and he's going to probably going to have to sit out 2019.
Probably is, but
pay a hefty fine.
A suitcase of drugs and money, vice. I'm not. You know what? I'm not here to.
Yeah.
Both of them are fucking terrible.
Yeah, and I think he deserves what he gets.
We'll see what happens though.
I don't think he deserves what Bart Scott says they should get.
Bart Scott needs to shut his face and never.
Yeah, I mean his bias.
I don't even know what he said. I just know that Bart Scott's a fucking idiot. So
he said stripping them of all their draft picks.
What?
Whatever because it's a bad look for the league. You've got to cripple them. No, you just hate the Patriots.
You didn't cripple the fucking Colts when Ursay got caught with a
pharmacy's worth of drugs. Yeah,
and a bunch during a drug transaction. Basically, he was fucking buying drugs.
Jimmy Haslam's still. What is he still in federal court for the Flying J thing?
He settled with the federal government. They took a shit ton of money.
Tell me that's not a bad look for the league.
Oh well, Bart Scott is a lifelong Jet. So
lifelong Jet and Raven.
Fuck him.
Yeah, pretty much. So
he doesn't need to be a talking head. He just
doesn't, because nothing he says is intelligent.
Yeah.
Or based in fact or reality.
Yeah.
So
let's move on to the
off season.
Yeah. So
we've been talking a lot about the Patriots. Why don't you lead this off for the Eagles?
So all right, the Eagles have been making some moves. Just locked up Jason Kelce with a 1-year extension. Brandon Graham got a 3-year extension.
Yeah.
Nick Foles was released into the wilderness to go pursue his fortunes in free agency, which was great.
Yeah.
There was a lot of talk of once he bought his way into free agency by returning the $2 million. There's a lot of talk about the Eagles trying to franchise tag him and trade him. The problem is that's illegal. According to the CBA, if you're going to franchise tag someone, you do so in the spirit of that you plan on playing them and maintaining them on your roster. To tag and trade goes against the spirit of the CBA and opens you up for litigation.
Yeah.
So the Eagles wanted to avoid that because, let's be real, this guy's a fucking hero in Philly.
Right.
And while you would love to get something for him, you just got to let him go.
Yeah.
You could probably squeeze the second or third rounder, maybe both, for a Nick Foles trade. Especially to a team like the Jaguars, who are fucking done with mortals. But is that the right thing to do? What does that mean to the guys you have on the roster now when it comes time for them?
Yeah.
So by letting him go, I think that's the best long-term decision that the Eagles can make for their reputation as a franchise to attract those players like the Le'Veon Bell, or some other high-end talent who knows they're not going to get shafted so hard by the business end of things when their time comes to end in Philly. I think that's a big thing, right? Nobody wants to be treated as disposable.
No.
You know? Nobody wants to be treated as such, and I think honoring Foles by letting him walk was a great thing for Howie Roseman to do, and I applaud the Eagles for letting it happen, and I hope that as long as he lands outside of my division that he does well.
Right.
Because I don't want him on Watt's team. I certainly don't want him in New York because I don't fucking want him throwing to those guys in New York because they're, as long as they have Eli Manning, which they're bought in on, then they're always have.
Oh
something
yeah,
to hinder
Shermer
them.
says he's got years.
And I certainly don't want him in Dallas because, but him going to the Jags, that's
hop on the Jag
hop
wagon.
on the Jag wagon. I just don't think the culture of the Jags is right for him.
No,
I don't think the culture is right. Honestly, him going to LA is an upgrade over Goff. He's a proven winner. He proves that he doesn't get rattled. Your playbook may be simplified, but it's not like you're running a complex scheme there where you have reads. Because if that was the case, Goff wouldn't have frozen as bad as he did during the Super Bowl. I think Foles is better than Goff.
I think he would have been a good fit in Denver.
Yeah, but Denver just
traded for Flacco.
Oh, there he's so elite.
Yeah, but you know what the thing is this is a 1-year rental for the Broncos. They have to know that. He's still got his kids.
Elway has not made a good quarterback decision since he brought on the corpse of Manning to run his entire offense.
Right.
Bottom line. But back to the Birds. Wentz report came out. Somebody in the media published a report that basically said everybody hates fucking Wentz. The problem is he was gathering all these interviews and stuff throughout the entire season, had many opportunities to address it with Wentz and never once did.
Right.
So a lot of folks are calling out this guy for basically writing a hit piece with none of the names of the people saying anything. And he never wants to address it to Wentz to answer up for the things, right? So a lot of the people in the media, Philly and otherwise,
was this on the level of Wickershamery?
I don't know who Wickershamery is.
Seth Wickersham.
Who the fuck is that?
He writes a yearly hit piece on somebody for ESPN.
Probably, but it wasn't that guy. So a lot of the people. So basically, this guy's article was Wentz answered up to.
Yeah.
After the fact, but since Wentz wasn't given a chance to address it before it was published, it seems it was really one-sided. It's pretty terrible. So basically, it said Wentz is hard-headed. He's selfish. He's not a great teammate. All the other things, and so which is contrary to what we've heard come out of the locker room up to that time. And I'm not saying that that's not the case, depending on who you are. Right. If you see him bristling against the coaching staff on a certain play call, then yeah, you can view him as hard-headed. The bottom line is every elite quarterback who's truly elite has that.
Right.
To include your Peyton Manning, your fucking Tom Brady, your fucking Ben Roethlisberger. These are all guys that do what the fuck that will have been empowered to argue with coaches and change plays, because that's part of why you have them, is because they're not just because of that's part of their talent, right? Phillip Rivers, Marmalade talks shit.
Marmalade talked to Storm in that playoff game,
but it doesn't make them bad.
No,
right? Aaron Rodgers. Do you think Aaron Rodgers did everything Mike McCarthy asked him to do? Fuck no, because Mike McCarthy's an adult.
Mike McCarthy got dragged kicking and screaming to 10-6 year after year, and this year, you know what Aaron said?
Fuck it, I'm done.
Yeah, get this guy out of here. I'm done with him.
So
he sandbagged the season.
So that's going to be part of growing up as a quarterback. You understand that not everyone's going to be your friend.
No.
Right, and there's going to be hit pieces done. So I think Wentz responded very well to it. We're going to see, though, because this is the money year for Wentz. Wentz has to stay healthy, and he's got to produce. Foles is gone.
Yep.
They don't have a number 2.
Who are you looking at for that?
I don't know. They may try to go after a quarterback in a second round or third round of the draft.
Okay.
But I'm not certain that they do. I'm not sure who's on the market as free agents. I mean, you can't replace Foles.
Yeah.
Foles he's not. For him to have flourished the way he did in Philly, you really don't know if that's going to be how it works out with the next guy. No one saw that coming with him anyway.
No.
But remember, he only flourished when it was like do or die. He didn't flourish week 1. He didn't flourish week 2. He didn't flourish against the Raiders the season prior. He has some stinkers that he laid out there. But when it was on the line, he absolutely answers the call. Hey. Absolutely. So
you just got to raise the stakes every game with him.
Every game. Like, if you don't win this game,
you're done.
A meteor's going to crash into the earth and kill us all, and he's going to go ball out. That's the duality of.
He'll throw for 373 and 3 touchdowns and win the MVP.
Yeah. But I mean, how do you replace that? How do you replace a guy who fits so seamlessly into what you were trying to do?
Yeah.
So it's really going to come down to the coaching chops of Peterson.
Yep.
Right. Being able to take someone like Nate Sudfeld or whoever else they pick up to be the backup, the number 2, and understanding that quarterback skill set. And tailoring his offense around it to flourish. As long as that quarterback can make the throws he needs to make, I think the Eagles can be good no matter who. If Wentz goes down again, they'll be good no matter who's back there. Yeah. If they can have a quarterback that can make, because remember, Foles could make the throws. He didn't hold on to the ball for a long time.
No.
But the biggest thing was he made the throws he needed to make. They didn't ask him to do a whole lot of fancy shit. A lot of his quick reads, boom. Ball out of his hands, simple concepts. He made the throws, success, move the chains. Let's go. So
yeah,
I think that's a big thing. So we're gonna see what Philly does with that. Philly has questions at running back. You still have Jay Ajayi, whose knee is bone already, and he's coming off an ACL now.
Right.
You have so there's no true Sproles is not any younger.
You're in on Bell though.
Maybe if we can afford Bell, and then there's. Jason Peters is not any younger, and I'm not certain what happens with him.
It looks like they extended Jason Kelce.
They did. They gave him a 1-year extension. Like I said, Brandon Graham's got a 3-year extension, so they're shoring up some of the defense. The draft is heavy on defensive tackles, so Tim Jernigan, unless he takes a pay cut, is probably going to be showing the door along with Aloy and Gata. So there's going to be a lot of change, roster turnover on the Eagles with some of these old dudes. Chris Long might remain. He's kind of become endeared in Philly.
He's endeared wherever he goes.
But especially in Philly right now.
Yeah.
Him showing up in an Iverson jersey and a fur coat. That's baller shit. I'm sorry. Yeah. That's some Philly shit right there. So, we're gonna see. We're gonna see how that boils down to. Like I said, free agency hasn't started yet. The draft, the combine is going on right now.
Yep.
And speaking of which, that receiver out of Ole Miss,
DK Metcalf,
6'3", 228 pounds, ran a
4.33
40,
1.6% body fat. That's ridiculous.
He's a large person, and he was not that big when he was recruited. He grew to be that big. He worked his ass off. The problem I have with this guy is he's going to be the next Julio Jones. And some of you say, why is that bad? You tell me how many championships in the NFL Julio Jones has won. Now, I need you to tell me how many championships that Terrell Owens won. Now, tell me how many championships that Randy Moss won. Then, tell me how many championships that Larry Fitzgerald won. If the answer is anything more than 0, you're a fucking liar. Because those receivers, while they are elite Hall of Famers without a question, you don't win in the NFL with those guys now. You need guys like Edelman. You need guys like Alshon Jeffrey who are really good at one thing because they don't suck up all your fucking salary cap.
Yeah.
They won't become the focal point of your offense. Like if Julio Jones has a bad day, the fucking Falcons fall to shit. Well, they do that anyway. But still, especially if he has a bad day. So, DK Metcalf, his best bet is to he needs to go to a team that's not going to focus on him. He needs to become a great part of a great team if he's going to win.
Yeah, he needs to be a solid possession receiver in addition to being an over-the-top threat.
Yeah.
A complete
Antonio
receiver.
Brown has 0 rings.
Yeah.
Antonio Brown is I think he's the most skilled receiver in football. 0 rings.
Yeah.
0 rings, 0 championships. So the great receiver doesn't win. So that's I'd love for him to join the Eagles.
Yeah.
I just but he couldn't be the focus. He'd have to be a piece. He'd have to be part of a balance. You lose your balance, is what I'm saying. When you have these guys, you lose your balance.
Yeah.
You become pass heavy.
Oh, I mean,
you rely on them too much.
That's what happened to the Patriots in 2007 when they brought in Randy Moss. Oh yeah, Brady was hitting deep balls all the time.
What, 40 touchdowns through the air? It was ridiculous.
48.
48, ridiculous.
Yeah, 23 of them to Moss.
18-1.
Yeah.
18-1.
Yeah, I mean, when it mattered most, they couldn't get the over-the-top threat, the over-the-top pass to...
Because you didn't have the time, because...
then there was... The closest they got was with about 15 seconds left in the game, and that 65-yard bomb he unleashed that went off his hands.
Man, look.
I'm just saying. Just saying.
When you got Strahan setting up camp in your backfield...
Yeah, and you got Tuck coming on the other side. Oh, yeah.
It's not a...
Oh, that defensive line punished Brady.
Oh, absolutely. Absolute buzzsaw.
Absolute buzzsaw. But, that doesn't change the fact that...
I don't think...
Randy Moss, yeah.
He's arguably one of the most talented...
He changes your offense.
He does, but
so a guy like DK Metcalf, they're looking at him as potentially another Randy Moss. Good luck covering him.
He's not going to win at the end of the day. He'll put up outlandish statistics, but he's not going to win the big game.
Tyreek Hill. Yeah.
Small guy.
Yeah, well, okay, so maybe it is, but a dynamic, game-changing receiver.
Yeah.
How many rings?
But he's also not a... You don't look at Tyreek Hill and think Randy Moss.
Good point. All right.
Tyreek
was not an apt comparison.
No, not really. Because Tyreek Hill's a great player. I just don't see him as being at the same level as a T.O.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, so it is a heavy draft for defensive linemen this year. So yeah. That is going to factor in for a lot of things for the Patriots this year.
It is.
Trey Flowers is coming up on possibly a huge payday. He's the number 6 rated free agent on NFL.com this year.
The Patriots going to pay him? I think
Patriots have a history of not doing that, but there's no indication he would take a hometown discount to re-sign with New England. The Patriots do not have a lot of cap room in 2019. Their cap room is really in 2020. Brady might extend his current contract to kind of give them a little bit of cap flexibility. We already know Devin McCourty's coming back. The subject of taking a pay cut has not been broached to him, but I don't think he'd be one to do that. Dante Hightower has pretty much already said, New England, the Patriots have not said to me, take a pay cut, but if they ask me to, I don't want to play here.
That's fair.
I mean, and you know what? That is fair. I mean, and also we don't know what Gronk's doing. That's the big thing right there.
Gronk needs to hang it up, dude.
I think Gronk needs to hang it up too. He's been a frequent visitor though at Gillette Stadium.
He has been.
In the offseason. He hasn't made an official decision. He was mulling retirement after the loss to the Eagles last year. So, I mean, and at the end of the day, when you look at how stunted he's been the last couple of years with injuries.
He's been bad.
He's a shell of himself. He came through in the big moment in the Super Bowl and when they needed to get it into the red zone. But other than that, he really didn't have too much impact on the playoff run.
No.
And that's funny to say that, because he was a better blocker in the playoffs than he was a receiver.
He doesn't have the speed anymore. He's still giant. He can reach up.
Yeah.
But he just doesn't take. He doesn't.
I mean, the physical toll is really starting to show through.
It happens.
And especially when you got a big guy like Gronk who gets into it.
What do you do?
Yeah. But so the Patriots receiving corps is going to look markedly different next season.
We're going to see, man. I think this is probably Bill and Tom's last year together. I think in all reality, I don't know.
They got what did they have left except getting to the 7th one?
There's just so much turnover that's going to happen.
Yeah,
coaching staff and talent wise. I'm not.
Yeah,
sure
Trent Brown's probably going to leave via free agency, and we don't. That one's going to be the bigger hit for me. That's Brady's blind side.
We're going to see what happens.
Yeah, Isaiah Wynn is he blew his Achilles last year before ever playing it down, and he's going to be the guy to step in for Trent Brown. I don't know that that's going to be a really successful transition.
Yeah, I'm not sold on
that. But hey, Greg Schiano was brought in to be the defensive coordinator, which should be pretty good because half of the Patriots defense played for him at Rutgers.
Isn't he a shithead? But
he's a
shithead.
He's a great defensive coordinator.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, he's not a good head coach in the pro level.
He's not a good anything. He's actually a pretty toxic human being.
Yeah,
this could be a mistake hire. Belichick doesn't rein him in.
No, they've had Belichick and Schiano have a pre-existing relationship from his time at Rutgers.
Okay, well we're gonna see.
Hey,
because I remember Schiano distinctly being a piece of shit in Tampa.
Yeah, he was. You're right.
Okay, I remember.
No, but there was a mutual respect between Schiano and Belichick from going back over a decade.
All right.
So, and not only that, and like I said, half of the defense played for him at Rutgers. So
okay, so. Kareem Hunt, is a Brown now. So
Cleveland's likability just went bye-bye.
He was drafted by the Browns, actually.
He was?
Yeah, apparently.
Wow.
Yeah. So Kareem Hunt, dude's gonna have to do some work to remake his image, man. That tape coming out where Now here's the thing. I saw the video of him kicking the young lady. It wasn't like he didn't try to place kick her through the wall. He definitely like went the extra mile to go kick her in the leg, and it was like just fucking stop. It was foolish as hell.
Yeah, it was.
It's not okay.
It's a bad look.
It's a very bad look.
It is.
I don't think he hurt her, but it certainly was an immature thing to do. And like here's a pro tip: stop partying with jackasses.
Yeah.
All right, let security do what security does. Like call security, and if she's yelling slurs and being way the fuck out of pocket, let the hotel security take her out.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You don't need to put hands on her. Your boys are trying to hold you back. For you to break their hold and go and give her the what for, you're not proving shit except now you're an entirely unlikable guy who beats on women.
Right.
So, bad call. So, he's in Cleveland. We'll see what he does in Cleveland.
I don't even know that he's going to play this season.
You know, he depends. I don't hate Cleveland for this move, though.
I mean, Dorsey was big on him when he was in Kansas City. So he saw an opportunity to get a dynamic talent if he's reinstated on the cheap.
I just don't hate Cleveland for this move. If you're the Browns and you were fucking close last year with a rookie quarterback, bringing in a playmaker like Kareem Hunt could be what takes the North. Because the Ravens are we don't know what they're going to look like next year with Lamar Jackson. Yeah. You don't know what Pittsburgh's going to look like because Ben Roethlisberger is a piece of shit who has no sense of fucking accountability, and that's what's alienating him from his playmakers.
Yep.
And so who's the other piece of shit team up there? The Cincinnati Bengals, who I forget exist sometimes, are never going to do anything. So
yeah, you just forgot they existed a second ago.
I did. So like to be real, the AFC North, the Browns can take the AFC North. So if you're the Browns, you make this move. They've already the NFL has proven time and time again that character is only a concern if it, is too inconvenient for it not to be a concern. There are players who have done far worse that have been reinstated and played games. Greg Hardy, I mean, holy shit, dude. So not to say that it's okay. I understand. I understand what Cleveland's doing on this one. Antonio Brown, having read more on what's going on with Pittsburgh when it comes to Roethlisberger, I'm actually much more sympathetic to Brown than a lot of people are. Brown treats his teammates like shit. Not Brown, but Roethlisberger treats his teammates like shit. Yeah. And he never owns his own failures.
And he's never held accountable by management or the ownership.
And the management went on record reinforcing that. Yeah. So if I'm Antonio Brown and I've worked my ass off to become one of the best, if not the best receiver in the game, and I got a quarterback who treats me like a fucking child, I'm gone. I'm sorry. Look, you can criticize him showing up to camp in the fucking helicopter, whatever. Look, that's whatever. That's something he does for fun. But when he hauls in a one-handed touchdown while blanketed by a cornerback who's holding on to half his body at the time, you don't criticize him then. You criticize him when he speaks up against his shitheel quarterback who throws everyone under a bus, like the touchdown, no touchdown for Jesse James against the Patriots a couple years ago, right? When Roethlisberger decided to run a play and throw an interception in triple coverage, he didn't own that.
No, he didn't.
He blamed the coaches for that shit. So if I'm Antonio Brown, I went off of that team. Do I agree with how we went about it?
Probably
not necessarily. I'm not Antonio Brown, but I do agree that him airing out Ben Roethlisberger for being a piece of shit. Which, come on, we
already knew that.
We already knew. We just didn't know exactly how bad of a piece of shit he was when it came to his teammates. But I get it, dude. Like, look. Go somewhere where you're going to be treated like a guy with some respect, and I just don't know where he can go for that. Yeah. Who's going to, because he's already been, tainted. We already know that there's soft collusion in the NFL. That's why they settled with Kaepernick and Eric Reed. Yeah. Right? We already know that there's a lot of collusion that goes on between the ownership and their front offices. So we're going to see what happens with Brown if someone takes the nasty plunge and signs him.
Or if he's doing season 2 of The Masked Singer.
You know what? If he sat, I think it highlights a lot of toxic shit in Pittsburgh. Yeah. Bottom line, his teammate
Le'Veon Bell sat the entire year. I mean, he wanted Pittsburgh to pay him, and at a receiver and running back kind of salary.
He wanted salary commensurate with his production.
Yes.
Which is the same thing that Jimmy Graham wanted when he got into his impasse in New Orleans.
Right.
He wanted because Jimmy Graham split out wide. He didn't play football as a traditional tight end.
No, he did
not. But of course, the Saints are going to say, "Well, tight ends make this much, so this is what we're going to pay you." But I'm playing more of a wide receiver role, and they went to arbitration. At the end of the day, they said you're going to get paid as a tight end, which is why he went to Seattle.
Yep.
So Bell is in a similar situation where, as a running back, he does so much more than what the position typically requires when it comes to pass catching, running the route tree, and all his various skills, that he just wants to be compensated for his production.
Right, and I don't think he originally intended to sit out 2018.
Well,
I mean, but once he saw Earl Thomas being carted off the field, he was like, nope.
Yeah, and Earl Thomas made it clear, fuck this team. And so the business model for the NFL is going to have to change, especially the players see what's going on in the NBA.
Yeah.
And they want to take some of that power. And I don't blame them. The NFL ownership is fucking terrible.
Well, I mean, shit. The NFL, when it comes to guaranteed contracts, is at the kids' table. Like, look at Bryce Harper.
Yeah, well,
in baseball, that contract's fully guaranteed.
Well, you got to remember, Kirk Cousins has the first fully guaranteed contract for his position like that in the modern era.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Kirk Cousins has a fully guaranteed contract. So the fact that these guys have no guarantee.
Nope.
Like the teams aren't held to the guarantees, to the contract that they sign themselves. Like everyone holds the player to the fire for the contract, right? No one holds the team.
Nope.
The power dynamic is fucking ass backward in the NFL. And for the average everyday man to fucking criticize these players because they won't just shut up and play ball at their leisure is fucking short-sighted and selfish as fuck. That you're caping for billionaires who don't give a fuck about you, who prove over and over again they don't give a fuck. Look at Snyder in Washington. He doesn't give a fuck about other people in Washington.
He doesn't give a fuck about anybody. Look at that boat he just bought with the fucking IMAX theater.
You want to buy a fucking boat? Fine. But put a product in the field people can watch, you know?
Yeah.
It's whatever. That's your money. But so that's what I think is going on with those guys. I don't mind it.
Yeah.
But we're gonna see. There is a power struggle. The next when the CBA expires, there's going to be a lockout.
Yeah.
And
2021 there's going to be a lockout.
We're going to lose that. That season's going to get lost because of these situations that are playing out. Because of the Kaepernick situation. Because of Le'Veon Bell situation. Antonio Brown situation. Earl Thomas situation.
Goodell.
All these things, they are there. Goodell being renewed doesn't help. Look, they are going to, and I think for the first time, teams other than the Steelers are going to read the fucking CBA. Because the Steelers are the only team that objected to it.
Yep.
Giving Goodell all that power. They're the only team that objected to it. I believe that the locker rooms this time are going to pay more attention, and they'll be better suited. So stand by for a lockout. I'm calling a lockout in 2021. And I see the power dynamic changing substantially in favor of the players. Otherwise, the season is a wash.
Well, that's pretty much writing on the wall. But, I got to call you out here, because there's one more thing we were going to look at here. You heard Jason Witten's coming out of retirement.
Jason Witten already came out of retirement. He's making either $5 million or $3.5 million this next year.
And that totally invalidates your last shitty hot take.
It does. My last shitty hot take was that Witten and Belichick were going to team up to make the most dynamic of duos in the booth for this year coming up. Now that he's returned to the field, which as an Eagles fan...
Woo! Hey!
Yeah, buddy. Go ahead, keep making those moves. Believe you can bring back Emmitt Smith. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Get Troy Aikman out of retirement. Michael Irvin. I'm sure there's some cocaine store in the stadium somewhere. But
oh my goodness.
But so let's be real though. He's a failed broadcaster. He was terrible. By far the most terrible of all the broadcasters. And I say that as someone who's tried to do play-by-play and failed miserably.
I felt sorry for Joe Tessitore.
I didn't, because he volunteered. So it was like you sitting there.
Now, was he better than Gruden?
No.
Nothing's worse than
Gruden. Gruden was bad, but Gruden made coherent sentences. You couldn't get a coherent sentence out of Witten. You would get random ramblings where he would just say all the wrong words he was trying to say. He was terrible. He was just the worst.
How was he compared to OJ as a broadcaster?
I don't remember OJ as a broadcaster.
Oh God!
I don't remember OJ as a broadcaster at all.
Yikes!
So what made Witten so terrible is that in the age that we're in, with all the he is so inarticulate. He was so bad at speaking.
I mean, and you couple that with Booger McFarland too.
Fuck Booger McFarland and his goddamn cart.
Like, oh my God, I couldn't handle it. I hated watching Monday Night Football at times.
So bad. But look, I would say that you and I could do a better job in the booth with Joe Tessitore than Jason Witten did.
And Booger.
I think we replace Booger and Jason Witten with me and the Dork, and we fucking kill it now.
Yeah, you'd kill it in that cart.
We got to kill it in the cart. Listen, and what I'm gonna tell you right now is get the bleep button ready, because we're gonna fucking cuss.
Shit,
because that's what the fuck we do.
Watch your fucking mouth.
It's bullshit, dude. But yeah, so failed broadcaster Jason Witten returns to the field for another season with the Cowboys. I think that's amazing.
Man.
They're going to make a big deal about it. I think this is a terrible decision by the Cowboys, so I am, of course, all for it. I'm also all for the Giants going all in on Eli Manning again.
Oh, yeah. And how do you feel about that? Did we talk about Kingsbury wanting to trade Josh Rosen last show?
You know, so we may have. Kingsbury kind of clarified that. I think he got stuck in the media spin.
Yeah.
Where they take something and they speculate it into oblivion, and then it comes back to them, and they're like, I didn't say that at all. So we're going to see, but I think he's one of the people who got hired who's woefully unqualified for the position he's in.
Yeah.
And they're going to suck in Arizona as a result, and I think they deserve it.
Because they have him taking Kyler Murray number one.
Look,
a lot of mock drafts.
With these front offices, filleting McVay the way they are, who's an unproven coach at this point.
Yeah.
I think that they've signed their own. I think they signed on to the next Chip Kelly Express.
Yeah.
So happy. He's not even a good college coach.
No.
He's never been good. Ever. He's not like you're getting a Spurrier who's a fucking champion. You know, this Pete Carroll.
Jimmy Johnson.
Who flamed out his first time, but is pretty good this time around. Now, Johnson.
Pete Carroll had 2 tries as a head coach before he went to USC.
Did he have 2 tries?
Yeah, he was the head coach of the Jets for a season.
Right. But it was still during the first. He was
young then.
He didn't Patriots, college, Jets, college, and then, he went Patriots, Jets.
No, Jets, Patriots, then college.
Then college, right? So to me, that's still his first go round because he didn't leave the league and then go. So he went to college and came back. Either way, there's some gold to find in the college programs from the coaching staff, but they normally come from successful programs. Kingsbury didn't run a successful program. He was a terrible college coach. So, I mean, go Arizona. Go ahead and do that thing you do. I'm sure the shitty Rams make the playoffs again.
Who do you think is gonna trade for Rosen?
Oh man, Elway.
You think
Elway's proven that he signs terrible quarterbacks. That's like
so he's going to trade for Rosen to back up Flacco and take over in 2020?
Yeah.
Wow.
Seriously. That's not even a shitty take. I really see that happening.
Oh my God.
That's not even a shitty take. I seriously see. Look at Elway's. Look at since Manning, name Denver's starting quarterbacks.
Paxton Lynch, Case Keenum, Brock Osweiler.
Yep.
There's more?
I believe there's at least 1 or 2 more that were coming off the bench, but those are all terrible players.
Yeah, well, Case Keenum had a good season in Minnesota, and that's what got him paid in Denver.
Right, but you've paid this man off of literally 1 year of work in a great offense.
Yeah, I don't know that they're going to get. I don't think they're going to get rid of Case Keenum either.
Well, I don't think they can.
No, I think they're locked in, and Case was like, "Hey, I noticed you traded for a quarterback today."
Yeah, well, Case had the number 1 defense in the league anchoring that other side of the ball, so the pressure's not on him.
Yeah, well, and not only that, Philip Lindsay developing into the stud that he became as the season went on really helped.
Let's not forget that Case Keenum's run ends, in New Orleans. Houston ends with the Saints. Had that dude not hit the hit stick, so his whole run is predicated on a defensive failure.
Yeah,
because that really wasn't a good pass. Hang it up there. But I'm just saying, look, Elway makes terrible decisions.
Yeah,
when it comes to quarterbacks.
Speaking of bad quarterback play, have you peeped the Alliance of American Football?
I have caught part of one game.
I haven't seen any games yet. I've heard about the spotty quarterback play.
No, there's some questionable quarterback play. It's fun. It's fun to watch because it's almost like, I don't know if you remember me talking about the Rice Bowl a couple years back. The football game in Japan that they played called the Rice Bowl because Japan.
Stop.
No, they call it the Rice Bowl. It's called the Rice Bowl.
Ooh,
but it's more of a for the love of the game type deal.
Right.
So the guys out there aren't like super duper all stars. Like some of these guys are not drafted or
Zach Mettenberger's a quarterback in the AAF.
You know who else is who's the guy at Penn State that sucks? He failed miserably.
Hackenberg, right?
Hackenberg sucks in the AAF, so yes, he sucks.
Yeah.
Period.
Trent Richardson
is not all that great, but it's
the optics, it's the story.
What gets me is the lack of advertising for the league. Like, I don't know when the games come on. I stumbled into this game and I was dead ass tired.
It's on NFL Network and CBS Sports Network.
Yeah, I stumbled into the game and there's some good play happening.
Yeah,
I think that San Diego's got a good team. There's some really good teams in there that are coached by some interesting people, and I don't mind it at all. I think it's a good D League for the NFL. However, they need to bring in some of these up and coming coaches to coach there too, instead of bringing them straight from college. Like Kingsbury should have coached in the AAF before they even got a chance to talk about pro contracts.
Right.
Prove his worth. So they're also in very small markets, so that's fine. But I think it's not a bad idea. Honestly, dude, did you hear about the young lady who got the scholarship for a skill position?
Yes, I did. What, Central Missouri University?
Something like that. Yeah, she's safety.
Yeah.
And she's a little thing, but apparently she brings the hand. She's also a cancer survivor.
Beast mode.
So, yeah, much respect to her. Tip my cap to that young lady.
Cap. Yeah, hey, So we got alternative football. We got free agency speculation, combine. I assume we're not going back to a baseball game this year.
Maybe.
The fact that you didn't respond to me with a "fuck you."
I may entertain a Phillies versus Nationals game. Yes, sir.
Got him.
Yep. But you know what's next? The takes of the takes, the shittiest takes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to do the shitty takes, bro.
All right, let's do it.
All right. So as the snow falls.
Holy super shitty indefensible hot takes, Diggler. What are we going to do now?
Johnny, Dork, to the take mobile. Okay, hold on. I guess I just got to get this started. Hold on. It takes a minute. It's kind of old. All right.
Really?
All right. I think. All right. I think we're good. I think we're good to go. All right.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, here's my shitty take, right? So last time I had a pretty interesting shitty take of Belichick and Witten forming that 1-2 punch in the booth, which, to be honest with you, would have just been fucking horrendous. Well, it would have been great. It would have been great TV. The same way watching car accidents is good TV. But this one, I'm taking it to the next notch. I think Jerry Jones is going to take Robert Kraft under his wing to show him how it really gets done as a billionaire.
Oh, okay. As a billionaire, I was wondering.
Billionaire, this is how you get your rub and tug, and to where nobody gives a shit, because nothing that Kraft did compares to the shit Jerry Jones has pulled over the years.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I do remember him having pictures of young ladies nuzzling his crotch, and they're public, and no one gives a fuck. So
and not only that, but I believe the other level of shittiness here is you remember how Kraft was complaining about Brady's 4-game suspension for Deflategate. You know what Jones said? I wouldn't be a pussy like that. That was his exact words about Bob Kraft.
Well, gonna make an interesting team up then, because I believe that in this case, when it comes to
they revere each other, sure.
He's a lecherous Sith master at this point, and so yeah. But I think that's my shitty hot take there.
And I got to stay on the ownership level in shitty takery here, because David Tepper is going to he's the newest NFL owner, and he's desperate to fit in with the other owners and show them he's really just as much of a billionaire scumbag as they are. And to prove it, he's going to defecate in Cam Newton's fedora while yelling "World Star."
Definitely going to yell "World Star." He's going to do it for the gram as well.
Yeah. So yeah, and it's going to be on social media, and it's going to be even more disgusting than what Larry Bear did to his wife in San Francisco after he failed to sign Bryce Harper.
That's what that was about.
Oh, he was just pissy about that, and then she took his cell phone because I don't know why, and he tried to grab it. And the worst part was she's falling down, and he's making no effort to help her. He's making more of an effort to pull the phone out of her hands as she's screaming. That was just blood curdling.
That's terrible.
Yeah,
that's fucking inexcusably terrible.
Yeah, and it's nice to see people like that getting held accountable.
Well, we'll see if he gets held accountable. I don't know.
But David Tepper, he's going to try and fit in with the other owners.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
World Star!
Ka-chow! Oh, for those of you who don't know, defecates means shit. He's going to shit in Cam Newton fedora, which...
Yeah, shit in his hat.
Yeah, shit in his hat.
Or in his gym bag.
Yeah, or his gym bag, either one.
But, because he's a strong, independent woman who don't need no man.
Yep, he's that church art man. Makes the best mac and cheese.
He's like a Medea of the NFL.
God, terrible. Fucking terrible. So, I guess that's it, man.
That's it. That's a wrap for season 3.
This is it for season 3, so...
We're going to be doing our fourth season when we come back.
We will. I think during the off season we may do a totally different type of show. Dirt and Dork do the news.
Oh boy!
Right. So it keeps us going, right? And it wouldn't be directly sports related. We would just talk about current events, politics, all the shit we don't want to talk about on the show. So it would have to be a whole different channel. But I'm thinking about doing that. And so if you're interested in this, if you would like to be part of it, if you think this is a great idea, if you think this is a bad idea, hit us up on dirtdiggler2823@gmail.com. Hit us up on Dirt Diggler Shitty Sports Show on Facebook. Send us a Twitter DM, even though we don't really tweet. I think we have an Instagram as well. Fucking hit us up there. Whatever. See us on the street. Say, hey, do your show. I think it's a great idea. Or don't ever do your show. In which case, we're still going to do the show. But we thank you for your opinion.
Wait a minute. Are we going to have shitty, uneducated, real life takes?
No, I think we're going to try to play it straight on this one.
All right.
I think we're going to try to play it straight and be humorous about it. But some of these things, like, I don't want them to play out in reality because they're terrifying. So, but they really are playing out. So I just think that it would just help us expand our skill set as personalities. Yeah, we can do more than sports. We have opinions.
We're erudite.
Yes. So that's it, man. That's the show for season 3, man. And look, if you've been with us for all 3 seasons, thank you for the ride. It's been good. We're looking forward to doing this next year.
We're both 40-somethings.
Yeah, we're both gonna be in our 40s. It's gonna be weird.
Yeah.
But shit, fuck it. So
yeah, and I still feel mentally like a 24-year-old.
Nice. So, hey, look, it's been real.
It's been fun.
And it's been real fun. Dirt Diggler and
the Dork out.